Hey everybody. So here's something I really wanted to talk about, and I'm really curious about why this is not happening. So this is about COVID. I know, God, not another COVID video. Ooh. But I don't mean it. I don't want to talk about COVID itself. I want to talk about what we're doing as a society to be healthier. And I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about sanitation. Okay. So as a person with stage 4 cancer, I don't go out hardly ever. But when I do, this is what I've noticed. Nothing is different. There's no temperature checks. There's no hand sanitizer. There's nothing. The doors are, yeah, their capacity is reduced or it's completely shut down. But like the doctor office, you think they would be doing temperature checks and offering every customer hand sanitizer. But I've been to Walmart and Rayleigh's and fast food restaurants. Most of that's drive-through, but the rest. I mean, the grocery shopping. That's in. I've been to Tractor Supply. That's in the place I go. Home Depot. In the last few months, not all at one time, of course, but doctor's office is mostly. And the only place that uses hand sanitizer and temperature checks is Kaiser. My doctor. A lot of doctors are doing that. A lot of hospitals are doing that. So, don't you think it would be a good idea for all businesses, if they want to protect their customers and their employees, to do mandatory temperature checks and please offer a squirt of hand sanitizer to any customers wishing to come in? I don't know. I'm not even getting offered it. If they're afraid of offending somebody, that person who's offended can just not go there. They can leave. Personally, I'd feel a little more secure if I knew that everybody was getting a squirt of hand sanitizer, because most of the germs will be here. And if even though we're wearing masks, we're touching the mask, we're rubbing our eyes, we're touching everything that's been touched, the hand carts. Yeah, you can clean hands. But have you ever smelled those wipes at Walmart that they give you? I don't smell almost no alcohol in those. So how is it cleaning anything? I don't know. It smells like soda. Yeah. But anyway, I use them just because I'm hoping that it'll help. But I'm trying to be careful. I have my own personal little bottle of actually I keep in my purse. If I can grab my purse here. I'll show you what I do when I'm out, when I'm done shopping. So this is my little kit. I don't have hand sanitizer because I don't like the way it smells. But inside this little dropper bottle is a repurposed vitamin B complex sublingual drops I use for my energy. I have alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is in here. And I just put, little, like a half a dropper worth, rub my hands really quickly, and that alcohol, 70% alcohol, it'll kill just about anything. And I keep that in my purse. So when I get done with the stores, I just give myself a little squirt, rub my hands together, boop, I feel like I've done something to help protect myself. But how come no stores or restaurants are offering this to any of their customers? Okay, maybe no. I mean, that's probably an inaccurate statement. Very few. We as a society, as a world, we could help reduce the transmission of any virus by offering our customers hand sanitizer at the door, just like the hospitals and doctors do. They understand. They know. Why aren't we duplicating what they are doing? It doesn't make any sense. So, are we afraid of offending somebody? I'm sorry. I think that your health and my health is more important than someone's feelings. Don't you agree? So I think it would be wise and prudent that every restaurant, every gym, every place that's open for business, so before they come in, say, if you'd like to come in, we do ask that you allow us to check your temperature, and you take a hand squirt and rub, sanitize your hands. And then you're welcome to come in. But if a person's not willing to do that, you have to ask why. Are they sick? Are they feeling violated because they have to do something to come in? Well, if they don't have to come in. And most people who are courteous and considerate of others will simply say, okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. Most of us are already wearing masks anyway, which, by the way, I think it's probably doing more harm than good. But that's what it is, But hand sanitizer and temperature checks. Easy. And another thing, if we are required to wear face masks, why the heck aren't they available at every single business that's open? They're not. You shouldn't have to ask for one. I mean, like Walmart, for instance, has a person who sits by the front doors. That person could be going squirt, check, okay, mask, squirt, check, mask, squirt, check, mask. It doesn't take that long. It's not that big of an inconvenience for people to come in and do that. And it's not just Walmart. It's almost every store I've been to. And I haven't been to a lot, but I've been to enough to see that this is a common problem. If you look at, I'm sure you've all seen videos of China, for instance, where they're doing temperature checks at the door before people come in. Because it's only courteous. It's like, think about it this way. There are people, and I'm sure you probably know one, who will go out and go to the store, even if they have a temperature of 101 or 102, or they're sick, or they just look like death warmed over, and they're going to go to the store. But think if we could just catch those people, how much we'd be reducing the transmission of any virus or bacteria. If we can catch those sick people and say, I'm sorry, we can't let you in, but if you need, we can get what you need and bring it out to you. So we can protect the rest of our customers from becoming sick with whatever it is you might have. We're happy to serve you, but we need to protect everybody else as well. Why can't we do that? But no, we're like, oh, we don't want to hurt your feelings. Go ahead. I don't care if you spread germs to the entire store because you want to get a roll of, a toilet paper or, some cough medicine. They have online ordering now, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. So it would be neat to see maybe like Walmart have a drive-up place where, they could talk to a person through their car window and say, okay, I don't know how to do this online, but can you get me, this is such, and they can kind of, do a order kind of a thing, and then the person can go and get their stuff. And it might take a little longer, but it would help prevent people who are sick from coming in, and it would still serve their needs. There's a compromise, okay? So no one's getting rejected. They're just being, dealt with differently because they are at that moment contagious, most likely. So if you're worried about hurting feelings, try that. Maybe that would be a neat idea to do. I haven't seen anybody really offering that quite a thing. Like a lot of fast foods have the curbside pickup where you can order with an app. A lot of people don't know how to use smartphones, or they don't like smartphones, or don't even have one, but they still want to order, so they still have to go through the drive-through, right? But hand sanitizer and temperature checks, I think, would go a long way for slowing down the transmission rate. That's what everybody's so worried about. The rate of infections increasing. There are more people getting sick faster. I think the thing that people, at the beginning, we didn't want to worry about overwhelming the hospitals. Now there's talk of certain places having issues with shortages of beds, but also now they're having shortages of nurses, which is understandable because a lot of these nurses have been worked to the bone, and they themselves, through all that stress, have become sick, and now they're out of commission until they heal, or they might even just leave the profession. So that's another concern. I personally, I have stage 4 cancer, and it's been here for almost a year, right? And I still haven't gotten it. But I'm pretty darn careful. This just shows that if we are careful with ourselves and careful with what we do, we can pretty much live a fairly normal life. But we have to plan for the people who don't care about other people. They don't wear the mask, or they wear it like down to here, and they're touching the stuff, and they're rubbing everything and touching everything, and they're spreading the germs. You have people who are mentally unstable who will go out and cough and sneeze on people intentionally. So that's why it's important that we stop these people from entering the stores. I know we are hearing that people can still transmit it if they're not showing symptoms, but that is not the common way of doing it. You usually will not be contagious until you have it. Usually, you will not be contagious unless you have a fever, because that's when your body is actively fighting the infection. That means the amount of infection in your body has gotten such a high enough degree, your body's going, oh, hey, something bad's going on here. And so your body's actively fighting a very active disease at that time. So if you don't have a fever, that means the level of disease in your body probably isn't at a contagious level yet. It doesn't mean you won't become contagious soon, but a fever is a sure sign that you better not be going out in public and spreading germs. And there are some people who will go out anyway. Those are the people I'm talking about. We need to stop at the doors. We do that, we'll slow the transmission rate, and the rest of us, including the small businesses and the people who need to get out and have that social energy, will be able to start having a more normal life. a more normal, not normal, but more normal. So if we simply do temperature checks and hand sanitizer, and since we're mandating masks, and I'll go into that in a minute, masks at the door too. Every business that wants to be open, squirt of hand sanitizer, temperature check, and offer a mask. 3 things to help keep your business open, to keep all businesses open, to keep you and your employees healthy and safe. It's not that expensive. It may be slightly inconvenient, but would you rather your business fail? Would you rather all the small businesses be closed down and be replaced by Walmarts? I don't think so. You know, a lot of hair places are shuffling for the same thing. If you just have your customers wear a mask, most of them do. You know, I'm sure that they are. You know, but hand sanitizer and temperature check. That way, when they're sitting at your table for half an hour to an hour, or even longer, depending on what you're having done with their hair, they're not at that time spreading germs. Their hands are been sanitized. And you can even ask them, hey, you know, if you're going to be using your phone, would you mind, you know, rubbing your hands on your phone too with that sanitizer, you know, just to make sure everything's clean. You know, we want to protect everybody. It doesn't hurt to ask. And again, if you really are adamant about that and they say no, I says, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you today. And then they have the choice of leaving. Okay? So we have to not be so worried about other people's feelings when people's health is at risk. Feelings, you know, that's a wishy-washy thing. It's not concrete like someone being in a hospital on a ventilator or potentially dying from Corvid. So don't be afraid. You know, do what's right for you, your family, because I mean, whatever you bring home from work, you're bringing it home to your whole family. So if you can keep yourself and your workplace cleaner, you're keeping your family safer as well. Now, about the whole mask thing. Now, I know there's been a big mix of videos about how the masks work, and it's really oversimplified. Now, they keep saying about droplet size, right? Well, most of these masks that you and I buy are the surgical masks. I use surgical masks just because I don't want to worry about washing them and all this stuff. And then people have the cloth ones, and some people use the little bandana thing in front of their face, if they even use it right at all, the people who wear masks, that is. You know, those masks, including the surgical masks, they don't stop the aerosols. They just redirect them. The aerosols are what the biggest deal is with the whole, you know, the social distancing is really about, is the aerosols in the medium-sized droplets. Because the big ones, if we're talking and we kind of spit when we talk, the big ones just go right down to the ground. So those we're not really that worried about. It's the ones that float around, and the ones that float around are the smallest ones. And our masks do nothing to stop those. The aerosols, the little tiny, the microscopic droplets that could potentially, they have, I guess I don't know if they've ever declared that the virus has been found in those or not. But the smaller drops that float in the air for longer, those are the ones that are more concerning. And the masks that we buy from the cloth ones, you know, and the surgical masks, no, they're not going to protect you from that. All it does is it's redirects. So like most of the surgical masks have like little gaps. So when you breathe out, the air kind of does this around your face, right? But it's just sort of swirls around. So if you walk, it's just swirling behind you. I mean, you may also not even be wearing the damn mask. I mean, now a mask could be useful in a tight packed area, like if you have to take mass transit, like the bus or the train, and there's no room for social distancing. Then you'd want to make sure you have a good, you know, firm fitting mask, at least to reduce the number of the crap you're breathing in. I mean, it's not going to stop. It's going to stop the big ones with the most virus in it, most likely, because it's bigger by volume, can hold more stuff. But the masks in general, they're not going to make much of a difference. It makes us feel a bit, but I think which it can be dangerous, is a false sense of security. All right. Because we think we're safe, so we'll stay out there longer. Maybe we'll socialize a little closer than we should during this social distancing thing. So we're thinking we're protected because we're wearing a mask, but we're not. It's just redirecting the flow of the aerosols coming out of our masks. And a lot of these masks, I mean, there's some really interesting videos that can show you, that you can look online. Just I think, you know, mask tests or viral mask tests, whatever. And you can look it up on YouTube, and you can see how some only the N95s and higher, or N99s, I think that's what they have. No, they're 95s. Only those masks will stop the aerosols, and that's at a 95% rate. That means 5% of the aerosols in the area are still getting through. So you're not 100% protected. And that is with a properly fitted N95 mask. Okay, that's, if you've ever tried to breathe in one of those, they are not comfortable and they are hard to breathe through. Not like the little cloth ones we wear around and the little surgical masks. They're easy to breathe through compared to the N95s. They are difficult. So if you have any kind of little problem, that'll cause even more strain. So the masks, generally speaking, aren't very helpful unless you're in very crowded places. And I would get out of that crowded place as quickly as possible, because the longer you're exposed to it, the more you breathe in, the more quickly you're overwhelming your immune system. But if you're just kind of passing through a crowd of people, that you're just getting a little bit. You're not getting hammered like you would be if you were stuck in a train for an hour. But I keep hearing the 20 minutes. If you're not in the crowd for more than 20 minutes, you're less likely to contract you might breathe some in, but your body will be able to get it out before, to recognize it and kill it before it overwhelms your immune system. So, again, I'll get back to the simplicity. Temperature checks. There's kind of the infrared. They just shoot at your forehead. Gets you an idea whether you're feverish or not. And you're normal. Hand sanitizer, go in. Thank you for your business. Come on in. If a person has a fever, just say, hey, I'm sorry we can't serve you inside today, but perhaps we can get something that if you need something. But right now you have a fever, and we will try to protect our customers as well as ourselves and our families. But we can't let you in right now. It's as simple as that. Every business has a right to refuse service for not wearing a shirt. Why can't we refuse service for somebody who will not let you check their temperature? Okay. It's as simple as that. It really is. No shoes, no shirt, no service. How about no temperature, no hand sanitizer, no service? Simple. It's something we can do to help each other out, to keep each other healthier, even if it wasn't the coronavirus. It would still be a good practice, especially during flu season, because a lot of people do die or get hospitalized by the flu. And pneumonia. And this year could be particularly bad because we had a lot of fires, so there's a lot of particulate matter in the air, and so something to consider. So if you think that there's some validity to this video about simply requiring all businesses, or asking all businesses to use an infrared temperature sensor, because you don't have to touch anybody that way, squirt of hand sanitizer, which actually has alcohol in it, and then to let people in, with the proper social distancing protocol in place, we can keep our businesses open. We can keep the hospitals from getting overwhelmed, and we can keep our economy going, and people working, and people being happy because they're getting out and doing some normal things, maybe not as frequently as they wanted to, but they're still getting out. And they're getting that mental care that they need to stay happy and healthy, especially during these holiday days. It's just, holidays are hard enough as they are. Making people isolate is going to make it even worse. We're going to see, if we can't take care of this, we're going to see spikes in suicides and family abuse that you can't believe. And that's just not right. We can't let a few people who are careless with their health infect everybody else, and then have everything get shut down because of these super infectors. Okay? If we can even reduce half of the people out there spreading viruses by doing this simple thing of temperature checks and hand sanitizer, don't you think that's worth it? Anyway, please, if you like, share. I really would like to see more restaurants doing this and more businesses doing this, because I think this would help a lot of people in many different ways. All right, guys, take care, and thanks for watching.